Hey guys, welcome back to the adventures of HPSquared. I'm Hemil,
I'm Heeralis.
and welcome to episode 6 of our podcast.
Can you believe we're on episode 6?
Oh, again, I almost lost count because we haven't.
We haven't done one in a while, and we do apologise, but we have been on vacay. As you can see, we are very brown at the moment because we've had a bit of winter sun, which was nice, wasn't it, Hemil?
You're already brown, weren't you?
No, but browner.
Yeah, true. We have had a bit of winter sun. It was nice. It was really nice. Where did we go here, Ollie?
So Hemil surprised me at Christmas with a minimoon, and we went to Hurghada in Egypt, which was really, really nice. We had a lovely 5 nights there, didn't we?
We did. Like you said, winter sun and all.
It wasn't long enough, though. I could have stayed there for longer. That was great British weather.
But I think we were prepared on that final day in the morning because it started getting a bit windy and it felt a bit cold.
Yeah, the last day was horrific, wasn't it? We were really lucky though. The first 4 nights with the weather was really good.
Yeah, it was really nice. Glad we got some sun.
Yeah.
And then winter. What about when we got back here, Ollie? What was the weather like?
It was snowing. Guys, we literally went from sand to snow real quick, and we were not prepared.
No,
it was not a vibe at all.
It wasn't a vibe. And for those of you that have probably read the reviews about Wizz Air, we didn't find it that bad, did we? To be honest.
Well, I was complaining when Hemil told me he booked Wizz Air. I was like, why the hell have you booked Wizz Air? You have to pay for seats together. You have to pay for extra luggage. There's just a lot of add-ons. So I was having a go at him. But when we actually boarded and got on and we took both flights, it was actually okay. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't. But the one advice we could probably give you, and it does cost a little bit of money, which is okay, is book your seats because
you were not going to be sat next to each other if you wanted.
No.
It was literally musical chairs on the flight on the way and on the way back. It was just crazy. So it was definitely worth booking. Paying to book seats.
And we did the old tactic of booking window and aisle, didn't we?
Top tip, guys, if you ever travel, definitely book the window and the aisle because most people don't get allocated the middle seat unless the flight's extremely full. But then if it is, someone's always willing to move to the window or the aisle.
Yeah, it was a really good trip, and we're back. So, like you already said, we apologise for sort of not doing a podcast, but we don't apologise as well, do we?
No, because we needed the break.
We did.
It's a long-awaited honeymoon, 6 months.
Minimoon.
Minimoon.
Honeymoon.
Is to come.
Yeah. So what can you say? Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Trailer to be released. But here we are, guys. Episode 6. So today's podcast is highs and hiccups of not just this week gone, but probably the previous week as well.
We just sort of catch you up on our lives, really.
Yeah.
What's been happening?
A lot's been happening.
Start with the highs?
We can start with the highs for sure. Let's start with your high. I mean, you've been on a real high, and you kind of deserve the holiday because you're about to start something new, something fresh.
Well, actually, my contract kind of started from Monday, but my manager's basically pregnant with twins, which is super exciting. So I had to interview for her mat cover role. And I got it, which was really exciting. And I did go for a whole process. I had to do a presentation, an interview. So, yeah, I think it was well deserved. And I'm excited to start this new venture.
How did you feel about doing the presentation? And obviously, you're doing it in front of colleagues.
I think it's worse when it's an internal interview because you know the people. So, I feel like there's higher expectations. So I was a little bit nervous, but at the end of the day, I knew my skill set and they wanted me as much as I kind of wanted the job. So, yeah. I'm excited. It's going to be a challenge, but I think a good one.
And,
after 3 years of being in this role, I definitely think I'm ready to
step up. I think you do give me manager vibes. I think you do. Not
because I always tell you what.
No, it's not anything to do with telling off and all of that. But I just think you've got the capabilities, you've got the know-how, you've got the experience, and you come across. You've got a strong personality. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just feel like all of those tie into management, and you're fresh. No offense to your current manager, or any manager out there, sometimes when you have an old manager, it's old ideas, this, that, and the other. When you come in, or when a new manager comes in, it's like new manager bounce, and you've got new ideas, fresh ideas. So I think you'll get a lot out of it.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. So, yeah, that was a big high, wasn't it?
It was a big high. And then sort of, this is probably a smaller high, but sort of me doing my
fair. No, it was still. I think this is still quite a big high physically.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's sort of 4 months since my last. No, when did the season finish? September. I think middle after the wedding. I played 2 weeks after the wedding, didn't I? I think. and since then I've not actually played a game. So I think if I correctly remember, it's something like the 23rd of August was my last cricket match, and that's when I was running, but I wasn't running at full tilt, and then the ankle got worse. Over the past 2 weeks, I've managed to put a couple of runs together, which has been nice, without any ankle pain. So they are my first official runs, if you like, since then, and it feels good. Success.
Yeah, you should be proud of that because I feel like it's taken you a long time to get here. Like it's taken a good 6 months to even have to walk properly. So
Yeah.
a big high, I reckon, for you.
And I think I actually feared it. You know, when we were on those quad bikes in Egypt, right? I was like, if I fall off this quad bike, what's going to happen to the ankle? Because it's quite stiff, right?
Hemil really struggled to be like he went on the quad bikes in Egypt and he had to steer, and it was I think he just expected to be like the steering in a car, but it was not like that, was it?
But initially, I was on my own on the quad bike, and then the instructor drove off in front and whatever, and then midway through, he sort of stopped and started again. Like he literally held my quad bike and his quad bike, and then I was like, goodness me, like how are you doing this? Like you're doing 2 quad bikes in one. But then the faster you actually go, the easier it is actually to steer. So on the way back, it was flowing, like it was absolutely fine.
I'm so glad I didn't have to drive that with no.
But on the way there, it was topsy turvy. I was shitting myself. Let's put it pretty easily. I was shitting myself. But yeah, it was good. It's a good experience. But yeah, that ties in with that, and I think like we also went to Ryan's graduation a couple of weeks ago, which was another high.
Yeah, his brother graduated, which was super exciting. I've actually never been to a graduation, so I felt kind of like, oh, I'm going to graduation.
You don't know how it feels sitting in the back, how your parents
will feel. Graduated sort of thing. So it was nice being on the other end, and then we went for a nice meal after. Yeah, that was a big high, wasn't it?
It was
a proud brother moment for you.
Yeah, it was, because obviously we graduated from the same university, the same sort of ceremony, the same final song, and it brought back memories. Don't get me wrong, it brought back real memories. But yeah, it was good. It was really good. I do need to. I've just remembered how he got a T-shirt. Yeah. Apparently, they did T-shirts for my year as well. Oh. So I need to go back onto the website and actually have a look at some point. But yeah, I think that was that. What was another high, Heeralis? What else?
Well, I think the biggest high was that Hemil actually booked a separate suitcase for me on this holiday. If you guys remember back to previous episodes where we spoke about Berlin and how he took half my stuff out, I actually got a separate suitcase, so I ensured that he just didn't have access to it.
Yeah, that was
a big high because I actually had all my stuff when I got to Egypt, which was fantastic.
You did.
I didn't think it would be such a problem.
No, but you did, and I think it was well deserved. I mean, when I initially booked it, I was like, Heeralis, we'll probably have 10 kg, I'll have 10 kg, and we'll share one suitcase. But you just realise pretty quick how much items females need for a start. Like,
I don't think men understand. Like, no. You just take a couple of shorts, a couple of t-shirts. Like, I need a different outfit for like going to breakfast, then the day of just like chilling by the pool, then the evening. So it's like 3 outfits in a day. Oh, and pajamas.
But I think it's not even that. It's like you've got to take your hair straighteners, you've got to take your clothes are probably the small part. It's your shoes, because they're a lot bulkier.
Be careful on this note when you take your hair straighteners to Egypt, because I think there was some issue with the voltage. My hair straighteners didn't work.
And nor did my laptop charger.
Yeah, and laptop charger. It just didn't work because of the voltage. So
and we had a voltage converter with us as well, and that didn't help. So
I don't think ours was a converter though.
They said it on there.
No, it said it wasn't a converter.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So I think take a voltage converter.
Oh, no, it was a voltage adapter. That's what
it was. Yeah, be careful of that. But to be honest, the humidity is like crazy over there, so don't bother taking any hair straighteners, heat on your hair. Just put in some products and be done with it. Hair's just gonna go crazy.
It is, and like what one. Just quickly going back to the suitcase thing, I think we didn't realise when we flew back from Egypt, they told us on Wizz, because we had priority, you can actually check your cabin bags in, which was a massive help, and that's something that if you get Wizz priority, I think that's well worth doing. But yeah, those were the highs, and Heeralis did get her own suitcase, as she said, and I think she was pleasantly pleased. But yeah, right guys, we'll swiftly move on then. Hiccups. And
well, we just about got to Egypt, guys, because guess what? The Hemil diary struck again, and he lost his passport a week before, and he couldn't find it anywhere. And like, Hemil doesn't get stressed, and he was stressed. I tell you, really, really stressed. He couldn't go to sleep that night. He was just like frantically looking everywhere.
Yeah, I was frantically looking everywhere, and so the way this started was I was in the kitchen with Heeralis, and we're like, okay, we're a week before. I think she was making dinner or whatever, or she was preparing dinner, and we were like, oh, let's have a drink tonight or something. I think that's what we said, or something. Let's have something nice. Anyway, I was doing some editing actually on the podcast, and I was like, let me go look for my passport. I can sort out the visas while I'm here, sitting with Heeralis in the kitchen. Anyway, she doesn't see me for 20 minutes. Hemil, 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 Hemil.
And bearing in mind, it does take me ages. Like when I'm like, Hemil, dinner's ready, like it takes me a good calm down. So I was like, she's just being.
Yeah. So then I came down after 20 minutes and I hadn't found it. And I was eating dinner slowly, and she picked up that I was sort of, wasn't myself. And then I ate a little bit of dinner, and then I was like, hey, Rolly, I'm not hungry. So she sort of clocked on, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like, I was like, what's up? He was like, nothing. And I just know him too well. And I was like, tell me right now.
And then I went back upstairs to look, and I hadn't told her. And then she was like, Hemil, can you tell me? So I told her. Anyway, we carried on looking everywhere, anywhere and everywhere. And she was like, oh, you must have taken it to your dad's house, because that's normally the first place I would think of. But it wasn't there. So I messaged my dad, and he said no. And then, because my dad needed it for something else, so I was like, maybe I've left it there, but it wasn't. Anyway, let's cut a long story short. Heeralis goes and looks in the drawer again, my computer office drawer.
No, I was asleep by this point, and then I was like, I just woke up suddenly like an hour later, and I was like, let me have one last look in this drawer that I've looked in. And it was on like the side, so it got tucked into like the side of the drawer, and I found it, and I was like, Hemil, I found my passport. And he goes, don't joke with me.
Yeah, I thought it was a joke initially, but no, she found it, so well done to you.
So, and he was like, oh, thank you so much, you're amazing. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go to bed now.
Yeah, and it kind of struck going, okay, I now need to put things properly, which, it happens, I guess, but here we are. That's solved now. I was legitimately looking on the website as well to go, I might need an emergency passport. And I wasn't going to wait till the morning, was I?
No.
But yeah, that was the hiccup. Then another one was...
Oh yeah, we were driving to the gym.
Yeah.
And then... guys, don't laugh at me. But basically, the rear camera on my like screen for the car, I was like looking at it, and I was like, oh, Hemil, it's so blurry, I need to get out and wipe it. I started wiping the dash cam. Not the rear cam. If my dad is watching this, he'll be laughing his head off. But Hemil was like, that is not the rear cam, that's the dash cam. And then I just like left it, and we went to our gym class and just did about it since. I think I need to go and wipe that. That reminds me.
Mine needs wiping too, so I'll wipe it for you.
But he was just like laughing at me, and I was like, I just didn't hook on.
No,
it's not my thing. Car's not my thing.
Yeah, it was your rear dash cam. It certainly wasn't your rear camera. That's for sure. It was quite funny to watch, but
yeah. Figured that one
out. But at least you learned, right? Yeah, just like my passport situation, you've learned from that dash cam situation or the rear cam. True. What's another hiccup?
Oh yeah, the previous podcast we released, it was late in being released because the previous one we decided to plug the camera thing in. I mean the microphone plug USB thing in, but like we didn't switch the microphones on. There was no sound, and we were fuming because that was a really good episode, and then we had to re-record it, which was quite frustrating. But you know what? Burnt toast theory and that, it turned out better. Yeah,
it did. It turned out better, and we're now trying to use these mics, which is why sometimes the voice might be a little bit interfery. I don't think that's a word, but
and we've moved back to landscape as well because we've had portraits not live.
No, but yeah, those are our highs and hiccups, guys. We've had quite a bit of highs and hiccups. Certainly, the biggest high was Egypt and the sun.
Oh yeah, but another hiccup.
Go on.
I got food poisoning on the last day.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got really bad stomach cramping, and I was like, oh, I've done really well because I was stomach is, but it just hit me. I just don't think it reached my 5. But the food in general was really good, and like Hemil was completely fine, but I just think that's too much. So I was ready to come home for the food, but not for the horrible wind and rain.
No, that
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Right, guys, swiftly moving on, as we like to do. We don't like to...
It's game time!
It is. And today's game time is an encounter. You've got to remember an encounter where you've had a hiccup or something like that, wasn't it? What do we call it?
No, we're going to ask each other our biggest hiccup.
That was a hiccup. Yeah. So, yeah, you can tell I'm kind of out of tune with this podcast stuff. I haven't done it for a long time. But, yes.
Let me ask you.
Go on.
What has been your biggest hiccup in life?
I think there's been quite a few, but this is probably not just a hiccup, but it's an embarrassment. So, I... laughs. I don't know if I can say this without having a straight face, but I basically had an uncontrollable bladder many times in the past, and therefore I would end up, let's not speak of the
So you wet yourself?
Maybe. Yeah.
How old were you?
I was must have been like 5 to 8 years old.
Oh, okay. So
maybe.
You were like a child.
Yeah, but
that was
still.
me thinking of your adulthood. You're just sitting there wetting yourself.
No, I've never done that. But it was uncontrollable, and it's pretty embarrassing. The other one was my parents surprised me to a Man United game, and I had a massive headache. So I'm a sucker for headaches. Like yesterday morning, I had to take a 15-minute nap before I went to coaching.
Yeah, you get headaches.
And they just take the life out of me. Like I could cope with a cough and a cold, but I couldn't cope with a headache. Anyway, went to a United game and was enjoying it. And I could feel I didn't eat anything because I knew when I have a headache, I just can't touch food, and I throw up. I threw up in the stand. Right, so I threw up, and there was a pile of
all these people around you.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. I'm sure they ran a mile.
It wasn't a pleasant moment, but never is when you puke up. But yeah, let's quickly.
Were you okay afterwards?
What would you?
What did you do? Go home?
Yeah, I think we swiftly left to get home. Yeah, it was towards the end anyway, but just I wasn't feeling good. But here we are. But let's swiftly move on. Oh, the other one, getting chased by dogs.
I did ask what is your biggest hiccup. I didn't mean like throat.
But they're all like on a level playing field, I think. Getting chased by dogs and tearing my ankle ligament for the first time when I went to the Peak District, that was insane. But that was also a hiccup. So I guess all three of those are probably on par. I mean, you guys can judge for me and just let me know. But Heeralis, what was your biggest hiccup?
Well, I'll just give you one, like the question asked. My biggest hiccup was when I was in secondary school in assembly, and bearing in mind there's like thousands of students, and like my row was getting up after assembly to go back break time or whatever it was. And I was sitting like this, like cross-legged, and I had really bad pins and needles, and I still get them if I sit like this for too long. And I couldn't get up, like my foot was completely numb, and I was like bashing it like an elephant's foot, and it just wouldn't go back to normal. So I was the only one just sitting there, and everyone turned around to look at me like, what the hell are you doing? And then eventually I got up, my leg was like jelly, and everyone was just looking at me like I was crazy. It was really embarrassing. Imagine in front of all those people.
That must have been embarrassing. That must have been like.
That was really awkward.
How did you feel?
I was so scared I was going to fall.
How did you feel afterwards?
Numb. It took me ages to get my foot back to normal.
No, but once you got up, like how?
Yeah, it was embarrassing. That was even actually getting up was the worst part, because I was like, I have to walk from A to B. And I physically can't do it normally right now, so I'm walking like a jellyfish.
that must have been pretty hard for you, I guess, and yeah, it must have been crazy. But guys, would like to ask you a question. Is there anything specific you want us to discuss, or you'd like to know? Is there any specific content you want to see from us within these podcasts, or even outside the podcast? We'd love to hear your thoughts, your suggestions. Like Heeralis saying, as she always says, thoughts, feelings, suggestions. And it'd be just nice, wouldn't it? It would be nice. I mean, this is a quick episode, but it's nice to get back into the swing of things.
And it's nice to catch up with you guys. I hope you're all doing well. And we've got some exciting things coming up this year, so hopefully we'll have a few good pod episodes releasing. And yeah.
Stay tuned.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.